Namaste Bitya, Hamisha Kaushal Bitya. A very good morning to you all. Myself, JVN Dr. Ravi Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Practice of Medicine and Faculty of Homeopathic Science at Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. In today's lecture, we are going to continue with the clinical examination of neurological system, and today we are going to discuss about the general physical examination. What are the different steps of general physical examination and how it is conducted, especially in reference to the patient who are coming to us with any kind of neurological complaints. So let's start with the general physical examination of neurological system. Whenever we are doing the neurological examination, the general physical examination is started from head to toe. In the head, first of all, we will look at the cranium, look for any abnormality of the skull. Few of the things we have discussed in the earlier lecture, and we are going to continue now with the previous lecture, physical examination. So first of all, we have to look for any kind of abnormality of the skull. If the skull is large with protruding jaw, then it means the patient is having gigantism. It is especially related to the growth hormone overactivity. If there is hyperosteosis, that is, it is seen in case of Paget's disease. If the head is small, it is known as the microcephaly. And if it has irregularity of the surface, it can be due to the localized bony swelling or erosion or the case of fracture. So while examining the skull, we have to observe the following things. Then we will look at the skin. And while looking at the skin, I have already discussed with you that while doing the general physical examination, we have to look at the things from head to toe. So we have seen the head, we will see the eyes, the nose, mouth, and the teeth. We will also see the ears. We will also do the cervical lymphadenopathy, and we will also check for the carotid artery, the jugular vein, and we will also check for the left supraclavicular lymphadenopathy. And while observing the skin, we have to observe for the following things. Number one is Capiole spots that is seen in von Rockling-Hussels disease, or it is also known as the neurofibromatosis, subcutaneous and plexiform neurofibromas. We will also have to check for cutaneous angiomas, scar marks, various types of scar marks, injection marks, etc. So in the skin, we have to check for different type of spots or any kind of overgrowth, scar, mark, like subcutaneous plexiform neurofibromas. We also have to check for cutaneous angiomas, scar marks, injection marks, etc. Then we have to look into the eyes for the following things. In the eyes, we have to check for the jaundice and also for the pallor in case of anemia. So these things we have already discussed in the previous lectures, because the general physical examination of all the systems remains almost the same. The general features remains the same, and the peculiar features have to be checked for. In neurological examination, we have to check for the ptosis. Ptosis is drooping of the eyelids. So the drooping of the eyelids can be unilateral or it can be bilateral. So you have to check for unilateral ptosis. Conjunctivitis, that is inflammation of the conjunctiva. You have to check for the chemosis, that is bloodshot eyes, keratitis, and corneal ulcerations. In case of non-closure of the eyelid, especially, you will find ulcers in cornea, and that can result into the permanent loss of vision. While examining the ear, nose, and throat, in the ear, you have to look for otitis media or otitis externa. There are two types of otitis media, especially acute and chronic suppurative. So acute ASOM or COSOM, you have to check for all these things. In the nose, you have to check for any kind of growth, polypi, etc. And in the throat, you have to check for the any kind of growth. You have to check for the level of trachea, is it centrally placed or divergent. Then in the neck, as I have discussed with you, that you have to check for the lymphadenopathy, cervical lymphadenopathy. You have to check for the lymph nodes, any kind of enlargement, cervical lymphadenopathy, which may occur as a part of generalized lymphadenopathy. Because in any kind of infections, the lymph nodes are enlarged. Therefore, examining the lymph nodes at other sites, or also example axillary and inguinal lymph nodes have to be examined. So cervical, axillary, and inguinal, these are the three important lymph nodes that are needed to be examined in every case. Then you have to go for the breast examination, and you have to check for any kind of lump. The examination of breast I have discussed in a separate lecture. So how to examine the breast, this was discussed in another lecture that we will discuss. I have already uploaded that video. Then you have to check for the vitals. The vital signs, there are 4 important vital signs that you have to check for. Number 1 is pulse. Pulse you can measure at different sites. You can see for the carotid pulse, you can see for the brachial pulse, radial pulse, popliteal, and femoral pulses. So you have to check the pulses for the rate, rhythm, character, radiofemoral delay, and condition of the vessel wall. Then you have to check for the blood pressure. The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 mm of Hg. And then you have to check for the temperature. The temperature can be measured by the oral route or the axillary or the rectal route. Then respiratory rate. The normal respiratory rate is 12 to 20 per minute. And this you have to check. So there are 4 vitals that you have to check: respiratory rate, pulse, blood pressure, and temperature. So this was all about the general physical examination. Apart from these things, you will also have to examine the hands for any kind of pellar, any kind of deformity in the extremities, or the temperature. You will also have to check for the pedal edema. So this was all about the general physical examination, especially while doing the nervous system. Most of the things are common and similar to that of the other examination related to the other systems, but only few things like you will have to check for paresthesias, numbness. These things have to be checked for. So this was all for today. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about steps for assessment of mental status and function. This session was powered by digital version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box and I'll try to resolve it. So this was all for today. Thank you very much. We will be meeting in the next lecture tomorrow. Thank you.